She has tried everything. She stayed busy. She made plans. She surrounded herself with people and noise and movement. She told herself it was over and she was fine and she needed to move forward. She might have even started talking to someone new, someone safe, someone uncomplicated, someone who would not make her feel the things you made her feel. And still, there you are. In the quiet moments she cannot fill fast enough. In the song that comes on without warning and takes her somewhere she was not prepared to go. In the middle of a perfectly ordinary Tuesday, when nothing happened and everything reminded her of you anyway. She cannot forget you, and it is driving her quietly out of her mind. Most men hear this and assume it is about love, about romance, about some magical chemistry that only exists between certain people. And sometimes that is part of it. But the real reasons a woman cannot forget a specific man go much deeper than feelings. They are rooted in psychology, in neuroscience, in the way the female brain processes attachment, identity, and emotional experience. Understanding these reasons does not just explain her. It explains something profound about human connection itself. And for a man who wants to understand the women in his life on a level most men never reach, this knowledge is everything. But first, the problem. Most men who are unforgettable do not know they are unforgettable. They sit in their own confusion, wondering why she keeps appearing, why she never fully disappears, why something that seemed finished keeps finding ways to feel unfinished. They misread her behavior. They second-guess what they meant to her. They talk themselves out of the truth because no one ever gave them the psychological framework to understand what is actually happening inside her. That framework starts right now. Here are 8 psychological reasons she cannot forget you. Not because of luck, not because of coincidence, but because of something real that happened between you that her mind and body are not finished processing. Reason 1. You created an emotional experience she has never replicated. The human brain does not store memories equally. It prioritizes emotional intensity. The moments that made her feel something powerful, joy, vulnerability, excitement, the specific kind of safety that only exists with certain people, those moments are encoded differently than ordinary experiences. They are deeper, more vivid, more resistant to fading. If being with you felt like something she had never felt before, her brain flagged that experience as significant, as something to return to, as a reference point for what connection can feel like. And every time she tries to move forward, her brain pulls her back to that reference point involuntarily. Not because she is weak, because that is simply how the human memory system works. Intensity creates permanence. Reason 2. You were emotionally unpredictable in a way that kept her nervous system engaged. This is not about playing games. It is about the neuroscience of dopamine. Dopamine, the brain chemical most associated with motivation and craving, is not released in response to reward. It is released in response to the anticipation of reward. And anticipation is highest when outcomes are uncertain. If your emotional availability was not perfectly consistent, if there were moments of deep connection followed by distance, moments of warmth followed by quiet, her brain was in a constant state of dopamine-driven anticipation around you. She was always slightly waiting, always slightly wondering. And that neurological state creates an attachment that is extraordinarily difficult to break because the brain becomes addicted to the cycle of wondering and receiving. Reason 3. You saw her in a way she rarely feels seen. One of the deepest human needs is to be truly known, not the polished version, not the version she performs for the world, the real version, the complicated, contradictory, unedited version that most people never get close enough to witness. If you saw that version of her and did not flinch, if you held space for her depth without reducing her or running from her, she will not forget you. Because that experience is rare. Most people in her life see what she shows them. You saw something she did not fully show. And being known at that level creates a bond that does not dissolve with time or distance or new relationships. It stays. Because she may never find it again so easily. Reason 4. You left something unresolved between you. The human mind has a powerful, almost obsessive relationship with unfinished things. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. We remember incomplete experiences far more vividly than complete ones. Our brains keep unresolved situations open like tabs that cannot be closed, returning to them repeatedly in search of an ending that never came. If your story did not have a clean conclusion, if things ended mid-sentence emotionally, if there were words that were never said and moments that never reached their natural ending, her mind will keep returning to fill the gap. Not because she is stuck, because her brain is built to seek closure. And as long as the story feels unfinished, you remain an open question she cannot stop trying to answer. Reason 5. You challenged her in a way that changed how she sees herself. Some people pass through our lives without leaving a mark. Others reshape us. They ask questions no one else thought to ask. They push back when everyone else agrees. They hold us to a standard that makes us better without making us feel lesser. If you were that person for her, if your presence expanded her sense of what she is capable of, what she deserves, who she is becoming, then forgetting you means forgetting a version of herself she discovered because of you. And that is not something the psyche releases easily. You are not just a memory. You are woven into her identity, into the story she tells herself about who she is. Reason 6. Your physical presence created a body memory she cannot override. This is one of the most underestimated reasons in all of attachment psychology. The body remembers separately from the mind. The specific warmth of someone, the particular way their presence felt in a room, the sound of their voice, the feeling of their energy before a single word was exchanged. These are not thoughts. They are physical imprints stored in the nervous system itself, and they are triggered involuntarily by sensory cues she cannot predict or control. A smell, a song, a quality of light on a specific kind of afternoon. Her body responds before her mind can intervene. Not because she chose to remember, because the memory lives in her before she even has time to think. Reason 7. You represented something she deeply wants, but has not allowed herself to fully have. Sometimes a person becomes unforgettable not just because of who they are, but because of what they represent. Safety, freedom, passion. A version of love that felt different from everything she had been taught to expect. If you represented something she wanted, but was afraid of, something she reached toward but pulled back from, something she let go of before she was ready, then you live in her mind as the road not taken. And the road not taken has a particular kind of power. It does not fade with time. It grows more vivid with every path that turns out to be the wrong one. Reason 8. She never fully gave herself permission to feel what she felt for you. This is the reason that carries the most weight, and the one she will never say out loud. When a woman suppresses a feeling instead of expressing it, that feeling does not disappear. It goes underground. It becomes pressure. It finds its way into her dreams, her unguarded moments, her reactions to things that should not affect her as much as they do. Unexpressed emotion does not resolve. It accumulates. If she held back what she truly felt for you, if fear or timing or circumstance or pride kept her from fully letting herself love you the way she wanted to, then that unexpressed feeling is still alive inside her, still looking for somewhere to go, still searching for the release it never found. She cannot forget you because she never finished feeling you. And until she does, you will remain the most present absence in her life. Here is what all 8 of these reasons share. You were not ordinary to her. You were not background. You were not someone who passed through and left things exactly as they were. You changed something. In her nervous system, in her self-perception, in the standard she now holds everything else against. That is not a small thing. That is one of the rarest things one human being can be to another. The question is not whether she has forgotten you. She has not. The question is what you do with the understanding that some connections do not follow ordinary rules, That some people leave marks that time does not erase. That sometimes the most honest thing you can do is acknowledge what was real rather than pretending it was ordinary, because it was not ordinary. And somewhere inside her, she knows that better than anyone. If this gave you a new way of understanding what you meant to someone, like this video and share it. Subscribe for more deep psychology on connection, desire, and the invisible forces that bind people together long after they have said goodbye. See you in the next one.